What is going on, Jet fans? Matt O'Leary back with another video. Today I want to talk about a report from Zach Rosenblatt that kind of went through some potential free agent targets for the New York Jets, as well as Jamien Sherwood having mutual interest. So Sherwood and the New York Jets have interest in a reunion. Before we get into it, I want to mention, you may have noticed down below some new merch items. I have a new merch store. It is new and improved, mattolearyny.com if you want to check it out. I'm rocking the Matt O'Leary NY sweatshirt today. I have Matt O'Leary NY branded stuff if you want to support the show. I also have a couple others like supporting AG if you want to rep the new New York Jets HC. We got the Sauce Gardner one. We got off-season champs. The off-season is here, and the New York Jets are always the off-season champs, and some other stuff. So make sure to check that out. Link is down below in the description. Okay, so let's get started with the most important position, the quarterback spot. The Jets are expected to look at the middle tier of quarterback options in free agency this offseason. The three names that are listed are Justin Fields, Carson Wentz, and Kirk Cousins. Of the three, I feel like it's hard not to come away with liking Justin Fields the most. I feel like that's just the guy with the most amount of upside at that point. I get it. He needs some significant work as a passer. Did have some success in Pittsburgh. Ran a hell of a lot during his 4 years in the league so far. Would completely change the dynamic of the Jets offense. Wentz, I'm pretty much just all good there. He hasn't been the same guy in 5 years. It's sad. It was a sad ending in Philadelphia for him. He looked like he was okay in Indianapolis and then completely melted down. Bounced around the league the last couple of years, but he doesn't really move me a lot. And Kirk Cousins looked horrible last year. He had an Achilles injury. He's also over 35 years old at this point in his career. He got benched for Michael Penix. He used the Jets in 2018 for leverage. Am I vindictive or spiteful for not wanting to bring him in? Maybe, but also his play on the field stinks. So I'm pretty much set there. I think Fields would be the best option of those three guys. So good news, there's some mutual interest in a Jamien Sherwood reunion. The thought is he's going to be $8 to $10 million a year in AAV on a 3-year deal. If that happens with the New York Jets, I'd keep an eye on Quincy Williams as a holdout. He's in the final year of a $6 million AAV deal. So he would not be the highest paid linebacker on the New York Jets. He's entering his final year. He seemed like a holdout candidate kind of anyway, but if Sherwood's getting 8 to 10, he's going to be like, I got to be like a $12 million linebacker. No, I worry about Jamien Sherwood going to either Atlanta or San Francisco. There's been some rumblings that the Jets might try to get something done with Jamien Sherwood before free agency. If he hits the open market, I think he's more likely to sign elsewhere. But if the Jets are serious about keeping him and he is interested in a return, then get this done in the next little bit. That'd be my take on it. So I'm going to combine with something that Connor Hughes was reporting, but it was referenced in this article from Rosenblatt. So Connor Hughes said that Tyler Conklin is unlikely to come back, and he put names like Juwan Johnson and John Bates as potential options for the New York Jets. Juwan Jennings this past year, 548 yards and 3 touchdowns. This is his 5th year in the league. His best season came in 2022. He had a 508 yards, 7 touchdowns. These two guys are very different players. Juwan Johnson, more of a receiving tight end. John Bates, pretty much an exclusive blocking tight end. Last year, 8 catches for 84 yards. He's not going to be much of a factor in the passing game, but if the Jets are looking to free agency for more of a run blocking and like fill a tight end 2 or 3, which you can make the case the Jets have to completely revamp that tight end room, I don't think Bates is going to be crazy costly, and you'd be signing him to be an extension of the run game, really. Apparently, there's some interest in an Isaiah Oliver and Tony Adams return. Of the two, I like Isaiah Oliver. I'm not the biggest Tony Adams fan. I don't think either would really cost you all that much, but Isaiah Oliver at least gives you some special teams value. He played a lot of slot corner as well. Could kind of play all over on the back end of a defense. I think he's just a little bit more valuable. Now, the Jets have a huge hole at safety. So if you want to say, bring Tony Adams back and be good, maybe that's the route they go. I think I'd rather sign like Jalen Mills and then for not a lot of money, and then find someone in the draft and then sign like a bigger free agent option at safety to be a starter. I think that would be my path, but keep an eye on Tony Adams potentially returning. Some free agent wide receiver talk. The name that came up the most, Tim Patrick and Joshua Palmer. I am a little bit worried about Tim Patrick with the injuries that he sustained. So if healthy, he could be a good player, but has been banged up significantly over the last few years. Joshua Palmer never really clicked in Los Angeles with the Chargers, but he's still on the younger side, can help stretch the field, a bigger wide receiver. I kind of like him as an option if the Jets are going to go bargain picking, if you will. T. Higgins got franchise tagged, so not that I was expecting them to be in on T. Higgins. I wouldn't expect Chris Godwin either. I think it would be in like the Joshua Palmer like tier. Another name that's been brought up a lot that I happen to like as well is Darius Slayton. Can kind of move all over the formation. Has been productive in his career with some pretty crappy quarterback play. I think if the Jets sign someone at wide receiver, which they should, it's a huge need, it's going to be someone like Slayton or Joshua Palmer. Some names from Detroit that the New York Jets might be interested in adding: Levi Onwuzurike, interior defensive lineman; wide receiver Tim Patrick; edge rusher Marcus Davenport; linebacker Derek Barnes; and safety, I'm going to butcher this name, Ifatu Melifuanu at safety. Names to watch from Detroit. Of that list, the name I like the most is Onwuzurike. Interior defensive lineman, huge need for the New York Jets. Good run stuffer, can get after the passer a little bit. I think would be fine to be the quote unquote starter next to Quinnen Williams. If you add, a mid-round option, let's say another depth signing and Leonard Taylor, or if they go big and like draft Mason Graham 7th overall, I'm not sure he's going to be there, but let's play the game for a second. Onwuzurike as your number 3 interior defensive lineman would be really deep. They would be incredibly deep at that spot. So just some quick notes that I wanted to come on and talk about the latest in free agency. Right around the corner, next week is the free agent time, so we'll have the legal tampering period. We'll have guys getting signed, and it is the unofficial start of the 2025 season. Guys, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. I'm Matt O'Leary. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you next time.